Give her a couple more minutes and we'll get started, AC.
Okay.
You haven't heard from her, AC?
No, I haven't. Let me give her a call real quick, okay?
Okay, just double check.
All right, she's getting on.
Okay.
Hey, Don, if you want to go ahead and call the meeting to order, because I'll have to go through the all the
Okay.
formality stuff, and by the time we get to the part where we determine who's present, Sharon should be on by that point, I would think.
Okay. Call this Town of Timberville Special Council meeting to order on June 18th, 2020. The meeting is being conducted electronically, of course. And AC, why don't you go through the authority to conduct the meeting electronically?
Don, can you say something? I'm not getting any audio.
Can you hear me? Can anybody else hear me?
I hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you hear me, AC? No, we can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to have to, I don't know how good the audio is going to be without that mic, but all right. So I didn't hear what you said, so I'm assuming you called the meeting to order.
I call it to order and you can go through the authority to conduct a meeting electronically.
Okay. So like we have for the past several meetings, we're doing this electronic, obviously, using the Zoom platform for the council members and the town staff that are participating. The authority to conduct the meeting was done through the declaration of local emergency, the resolution authorizing electronic public meetings, and the emergency ordinance to address continuity of operations, all of which were adopted on May 26, 2020. And the orders are in effect for 6 months from the date of adoption. Required notifications of this meeting were sent by email and through postings on the town's social media outlets. And any votes taken tonight will be conducted by roll call and will be recorded in the minutes.
Okay. Okay, see, we'll move down. Has she joined yet? I see 11 people, so Sharon must
Yep,
be
so
on here
we've
now.
got, yeah, so we've got, in attendance tonight, we've got Mayor Don DeLauder, Vice Mayor Bob Blosser, let's see here, Sharon Jones, Natalie Sherlock, Ned Overton, Carl Turner, Juanita Price. And I think that's all the council members. And then we have counsel for the town, or legal counsel for the town council is Quentin Callahan, clerk/treasurer Melinda Cleaver, and chief of police John Dodd. And I think I got everybody.
Yeah, I think you covered everyone. Okay, we got three items to discuss today. We got our budget. This first up, rezoning and the park master plan. The budget, we had our public hearing last week. I don't remember the day, last Thursday, I guess it was. And there was no public comment. We've waited a week, and today's the day we can adopt the budget. AC, is there anything to say about the budget?
No, I don't have anything more to add from what we did at the presentation last week. And obviously we didn't have any public comment made during the public hearing last week.
Okay, so with that said, we'll need a motion to adopt the budget. Ned, I think you're doing it, but you got it on mute right now.
I'll make a motion to adopt the budget.
Okay. Do I have a second? Don't see anybody. Oh, Carl's raised his hand to second it. Okay, since this thing with mute or whatever, if I call your name, you raise your hand or speak, either one will work. Okay, we have a motion. Any further discussion on the budget? Seeing none, Carl, how do you vote? Aye. Bob?
Yes.
Natalie?
Yes.
Ned? Ned, yes. Sharon?
Yes.
And Juanita? It's a yes? Okay. Okay, then all in favor of adopting a budget, so that's passed. The next one we go down to is the rezoning request we had from Matt Sabrant, I think it's pronounced correctly, last week also. And the only thing we were looking for or was offered was to see if we could have it memorialized that it was going to be single family homes. And as you can see on the, I guess, the computer right now, we do have something in writing from Matthew and Stephanie Sabrant, basically saying exactly that the property shall be developed solely for single family use, and a proffer is written for conditional zoning is made to memorialize the verbal proffer made to the Planning Commission and the Town Council. So with that said, I guess there's a recommendation from the Planning Commission to adopt this. Is that correct?
That's right. The Planning Commission met last night, and their recommendation to the council is to approve the rezoning request.
Okay. Any further comments on it before we go for a motion?
One question possibly for Quentin. Is this document that we were shown, is that to be indexed in the courthouse records for the property?
AC, you can answer how you normally handle written proffers.
Typically, what we do is we put them with the files of where the rezoning occurred. I'm not sure if in the past if they've been recorded at the courthouse or not. It seems to me that they
Usually,
have been at one
usually it's
point,
not.
but I believe we left that up to when we might have left that up to your all's office to do.
Yeah, normally we would not record a written proffer. The written proffer would be indexed with the town files so that if anybody was doing the title research, they would see that it's zoned R2C, which means R2 conditional. And then they would go to the town office and ask what conditions have been added to it. And at that time, they would receive the written proffer.
And what we do is once the rezoning once a rezoning is approved, especially if it's any rezoning, we adjust we make the amendments to the official zoning map, and we have a certain indicator on the zoning map of a conditional zoning. And that's what Quentin's talking about. If someone looks at that map, then if they're interested in a property that has a conditional zoning to it, then they call the office and find out what the conditions are.
Are there any more questions?
And the recommendation of the planning commission was?
Planning Commission recommended approval of the rezoning request with the submitted proffer.
Okay, thank you.
So we're looking for a motion to approve the rezoning request.
I will make that motion to approve the rezoning request as presented.
Okay, thank you, Ned. Do I have a second?
A second.
Thank you, Natalie. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll go around the table. Carl?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Natalie?
Yes.
Ned?
Yes.
Sharon? I take it to yes, that your mic's on mute. Just give us a thumbs up, Sharon, so we can know. Okay, and Juanita? Oh, Juanita's yes also. I can't wait till we all get together in person so we don't have to worry about mute and not mute and all that kind of thing. Okay, so that takes care of the second thing. The last item we had on the agenda was we have received the finalized master park planning. Everybody by now, AC should have a copy of it, correct?
Yes, that's correct. I emailed them out, so
Okay.
everybody check their email.
So I'm assuming what we need to do is we need to approve the final park plan. And then we need to start doing some more work. We have, right now we had 140,000 budgeted for it last year, or excuse me, in this budget. We spent about 32,000. We've had about 35,000 in donations. So we still have 108,000 to put into our parks, and we've come a long way with just a little bit of money we've spent. As everyone knows, the dog park's in, playground's been expanded, the swings are in, and if you've been down to the park lately, you'll notice they're cutting the asphalt to change the entrances as it is on this park plan. So the front office and AC's group and everybody's and the field guys are working real hard to get this done. So I guess we need an approval of the park plan if everyone's good with it so far.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
By approving this master plan,
Mhm.
the council's not approving any extra money for any of the projects over and beyond what we've approved already, is it?
No, I mean, approving the plan is just everyone's good with the concept and the direction that we're going in the next 5-10 years, whatever it might be.
Okay.
By approving the plan, the only thing that's been approved so far is the $140,000 that we've already discussed this year.
Right.
In the budget. Yeah. There's what for us to, put more money into it, maybe in December or January or whenever things calm down, we have a better idea of where financially we're going. There may be time to talk then, but right now, the only thing that's on the table to be spent from what's been voted on is the 140,000 that we approved already.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Question, if I may.
uh-huh.
The language, when we say we're approving the plan, does that bind future councils to build exactly as presented?
No, the plan itself is, even as the designer said, this is just a concept plan. You can call it approve the concept plan if you'd like. This is just, we want to know that this is the direction the council feels they want to head. So we're not spending monies on something that no one agrees with. That's my opinion. Is that correct, AC?
Yes, that's a good way to put it. It's a concept, so it doesn't lock the town into doing any of this, but it gives us truly it is a plan, kind of like the budget is a plan for spending money. This is a plan for how to improve the park.
And what it does help is, AC met with Pilgrims this week to thank them for their participation in the dog park, and the fact that we had extra monies left over to do the partitions around the playgrounds. They were given a copy and they're very excited about it, and they want to help continue this this adventure, this dream of the council and the town. And it gives us something to, AC handed them a copy and said, you're interested in helping, look at this, see how you'd like to help. So,
Mr. Mayor, Quentin has a question or a comment.
Yeah, just to speak to Bob's comment, the designers are calling it a master plan. And when we think of a master plan, we think of rezoning and land development. And that's really not what this is. It's not in the same vein at all. This is conceptual only. It doesn't approve any specific amounts or designs or zoning or anything like that we would traditionally think of in the terms of a master plan for the purposes of zoning.
Correct.
So that's the reason I asked. So I guess my question is, are we wording this properly then? Because it could be taken that this is what will be built by approving this plan. That's how I would take it.
Then the only thing it says, where does it say master plan on this at all? I don't think it says master plan. We would just have to, anywhere place says master plans in our emails and in AC's agenda. I'd say in the motion, to avoid that confusion, the motion should be approving the concept plan submitted by the planners, and put it that way.
So Don, it does down in the corner.
It does say master, so we can just, our motion can clarify that. I wouldn't want to go back to them and say, hey, can you change that to concept? Because as Quentin just said, it's not the same as land regulations and so forth.
So the question then is, who has wording that would convey that?
Quentin, are we good with calling it a concept plan?
Yeah, I think if anyone wants to make a motion, the motion would be to move to accept the concept as presented.
There you go.
Are you ready for this?
Should we add not to bind, and I'm asking a question, not to bind future councils to any specific item in the plan?
Just on that vein, I don't think anything we do except for a large amount loan or something ever binds the council anything, does it? Can a council come in next 4 years from now and vote down anything we've done? They could change zoning that we've changed and so forth, right?
I think to Bob's point, to be clear in your minutes, the motion could be to approve the concept as presented and reserve the right to make any changes as any future council sees fit.
That's okay.
Does that cover your concern, Bob?
It does, because there's, certain items that are there now that, depending on the funding may or may not be that desirable in the future. I mean, this is a comprehensive plan for the acreage, but I'm a certain age, and I'm not sure that a skate park is something that is that wanted at this day and age. But then, I'm certainly speaking from someone in his mid to late 50s. So, I just don't want this to be deemed that we are committed to developing the parks with each item as presented.
And like I said earlier,
I'm comfortable with what our attorney has indicated. I guess I would maybe like to hear that again so that it could be presented that way.
Sure, I would say to move to approve the concept for the plan as presented, with the reservation that any future council can amend the plan as they see fit.
okay, so as he said, I approve the concept of reservation to amend as future council see fit is the motion we would need.
I would like to make a motion to accept the concept plan as it is currently presented and reserve the right for future councils to amend as needed.
There you go. Thank you, Natalie. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Okay, we'll go around. Oh, any further discussion? I'm sorry. We'll go around the table. Carl,
Yes,
Bob,
Yes.
Natalie,
Yes.
Ned,
Yes.
Sharon. I can't see her AC, so. Thumbs up. You're on mute. Okay. And Juanita. And Juanita's yes. Okay, so that's approved. AC, you got anything else?
Nope, I don't have anything else.
Okay, I guess the one question I do have, the guys, we have, as Carl said, we have that money budgeted. Are the employees able to start, since this is approved, start working on some of the items on our list and get going? Is council good with that? I mean, they'll have to come back and update us on what they're doing. Are we good? I mean, it's not really a motion.
I'm good.
I would think the park committee should, and maybe I think there's probably an outside group that's been meeting and, look at the funding that's been allocated and see, maybe prioritize some of these items.
Well, the list we
to
have,
leave it up to I don't know who we're leaving this up to by saying the guys can go ahead with them.
well, the list we have is the ones that they prioritized. That came from the Park Advisory Committee. The list that we have.
Maybe that list could be shared again with council.
Sure.
'Cause I'm not aware of that list.
It's
I probably received it, but
it's the one you get every council meeting with the funds that are being expended. The accounting that Melinda does.
I'll go back through the emails then and find that.
Yeah, they're the ones that we get, and some of them. There's one that's like a holder. I think the playground or whatever that's on top where we picked a bunch of items. The committee picked a bunch of items and worked through that. And it may be decided to the committee if we meet again that we need bathrooms instead of a playground or whatever. But some of the smaller stuff be nice for when I say the guys, the field crew that's been working really hard to be able to actually, get cut loose to do some of this work. But yeah, you can go back and look at that, Bob. You get it every month on the from Melinda from your monthly report.
I think that was just sent out for the last maybe regular meeting. Is that correct, AC or Melinda?
It went out, it's been going out for a few months. It's been many months. It's been going out.
I mean, the updated version.
Melinda, you give a month update every month, right?
Yes, it was presented at the last council meeting.
Okay, I know which one you're referring to then. Thank you.
Right. And again, everything's got to go by the rules. We have to get estimates. You have to get all that sort of thing. So none of that changes. You got to abide by all those rules, depending on the cost of the project and things like that. Any other questions, anybody? AC?
Hold on one second, Don. I'm going to try to pull that list up. Okay.
Okay.
While he's doing that, will our July meeting be on TV?
That's yet to be.
Go ahead, AC.
I was going to say that's yet to be determined. We'll kind of see where we're at that point. We want to try to get back in person as quick as possible, but we definitely don't want to rush things, especially with the cases on the rise. So we'll try to make a determination on that early first week of July and kind of decide at that point.
Okay, thank you.
These are some of the items that the Park Advisory Committee worked through. Things like, and some of them may change, but upgrade the monuments, the fire pits, improve the stables, signage, shelters. Basically, it's basically a facelift to what we currently have. The dog park, and some of it, the bigger. I'm thinking they can get started on the smaller stuff. The bigger stuff, the council can get together and discuss. But the smaller stuff, it doesn't make sense for them to come back and ask about signage every time, or to make a fire pit and that kind of thing. I like the people have been doing a great job making it, and they're always under budget. So
the reason I'm asking is someone could look at the list and see number 5. Is that the 5th one that is being considered, or is that just a number? That's why I was asking.
It was sorted by dollar amount. The 8,000 is in the wrong spot now because Pilgrims took that and it was leftover money from the Pilgrims, but it was just sorted by dollar amount, highest to lowest.
So right now, who knows what is to be worked on next, I guess is my question.
Oh, right now, I know what the guys are working on right now. They're concentrating on the parking lots going into the older park, Memorial Park is what they're working on right now. They're out there getting estimates on the paving right now to do that. That's what they're working on now. The next thing Chris feels they can get done on their own is start some of the walking paths over to the dog parks and things like that. Those are the 2 things that's on their list to get done. I do know Chris needs to talk to Sharon about some trees for down there at the main entrance Memorial Park. I know she's got a contact for that kind of thing. But those are the 2 things they're working on right now. And I think Cargill wants to be involved in the memorial part of it over at American Legion. And I don't know what Pilgrim's next project they want to pick is, but I don't think theirs is till June. They get their new money, or July or something like that. But the master plan's pretty well done. They removed the old pool buildings, pretty well done. The parking, they're working on right now. So they're basically started on top. The earth and playground is on hold till we figure out that's something that's important to be done now, or bathrooms or something like that more important. Any more questions? Okay. I guess meeting's adjourned. Thank you, folks. Carl, as far as July, I'm guessing July may not happen, but hopefully August will.
Very good.
We need to get together to talk instead of trying to do this mute unmute thing.
Really.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, AC and
Hey, Sharon? Unmute yourself.
okay.
Hey, can you get with Chris about those trees I mentioned a minute ago on the,
Yes, I'll talk to him next week.
okay, thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
You guys.
Thank you.